Welcome to this tutorial on the plotting structure using the 12-stage hero's journey. I'm going to take you through the 12 stages, explain a little bit about what they mean, and then I'm going to show you a template that you can use, and you can find it in the description box below, and you can actually plot out a novel using the 12-stage hero's journey. It's very simple. I'll take you through each of the 12 stages, and you can pause this video and you can write out your own suggestions for what you think your character will be doing in those 12 stages that will get that character through the entire novel. All right, so this is a great place to begin if you are beginning a novel, or if you have a novel that's just not working for some reason and you need to rework the plot. You can use this structure. Okay, let's get started. So this shows you the 12 stages, and actually it looks like for some reason this one's broken down into 11, but don't worry about it. It'll just give you this kind of overall understanding of the structure, and then I'll take you through the template where you can actually work through the 12 stages yourself for your own novel. So the first, oh, I see why. It's because the first one is 0. So it is actually 12 stages. The first one is the status quo. And you need to know what your character's status quo is. A lot of novels today will actually begin with the call to adventure, which is also known as the inciting incident. So you've got to know where your character starts, okay? Regardless of where that actually shows up in the novel itself, you need to know. So when we go to that template, which I'll take you to right now, and we'll kind of go back and forth between these two documents, and you can see how this works, okay? And like I said, you can pause at any time, and you can use this for your own novel. All right, so this lists out all 12 of these stages. Okay, so here is the 12-stage mythic outline template. You start with your title. And the thing about it is, it's really important to just start, because I'll give you an example. I have a working sample where I went through the template and filled it out. But the thing about it is that the title of the novel did not end up being A Siren's Lament. In fact, when I first started, it was titled A Siren. And then I ran across the novel at Target titled The Siren. So that didn't work. So then I changed it to A Siren's Lament, but I didn't quite feel that that's what I wanted. So I ended up changing the title, which is the current title of the novel. But the point is, it doesn't matter. Just give it a working title. Give yourself something to focus on, okay? Make it real. A real book has a real title. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if that's the ultimate title. In fact, when it comes down to it, your publisher is actually the one who has the final decision on that. Just give it a title so that you can focus, okay? Make it real for yourself. Now, we're going to work through each of the 12 stages. So I will go back to that template. Again, give yourself a title. That's all you need to do. It doesn't matter. Then go on to stage 1, the ordinary world. This is where the main character is in his or her ordinary world. And ordinary doesn't necessarily mean boring, okay? So if you look at any movie or read any novel, you will see it begin with a character in their ordinary world, and they might actually be starting to do something. Like, for example, in Avatar, the character is actually waking up as the ship is arriving at Pandora, the planet where he will be in his avatar body. That is actually his ordinary world. Doesn't necessarily mean it's boring, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, now I'm going to go back to the one that I did for the Siren. Her name is Temperance Scott. So her ordinary world was just being at work that day. Now, the thing about it is that this actually did not even end up in the novel. because I wanted to start with the inciting incident. But I needed to know, like, what's going on in her life. Well, it turns out she's just been fired from her job working for the BBC, and she was laid off. And then, but she hated the job anyway, so no problem. And but except it's still a conflict, But this anyway was her ordinary world. She worked for the BBC. She didn't really like her job, and she had a boyfriend. And so what happens is that she loses her job. Her boyfriend cheats on her, and she catches her boyfriend cheating on her. And it was sort of like a sliding doors kind of thing, if you have ever seen that movie. And also, her father died. I mean, her uncle died, and left her his occult bookshop in London. So she has a whole new beginning. Okay. But still, that was her ordinary world, but it wasn't boring. So go ahead and pause the video now and just scribble out some ideas, copy and paste the template from the description box below, and then just save it as a document for this novel so you can start outlining the novel. Do not stress over it. It's simply not that important. Anything you write is going to get you one step closer to where you want to go in terms of getting your novel outlined. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause there, and we'll get started on making some notes for stage 1. Okay, now we're going to look at stage 2 of the 12-stage mythic journey. So let's go ahead and pull that up and take a look at that. All right. Stage 2 is the call to adventure. So in stage 2, the main character receives a call to adventure. This is also known as the inciting incident. What that means is, like, when you think about the structure, the ordinary world is just like the status quo. Like, everything's normal, the way they do things every single day, whatever their world happens to be, whatever their life happens to be. When you get to the call to adventure, this is something that catapults them out of their ordinary world. Okay. So again, let's go and look at the one I wrote for A Siren's Lament. Okay. So I was continuing to describe her ordinary world. And the thing that really, really triggered it were actually 3 things: losing her job, finding out or discovering her boyfriend is cheating on her because she walks in on him and the other woman, and then her uncle dies, and he wills his antiquarian occult bookshop to her in London. And so all of these things were very difficult, major changes in her life, because now she's going to end up leaving her boyfriend, and she doesn't have a job, and she's going to inherit this bookshop. So that's going to become her new life. So in a sense, there were actually 3 inciting incidents all bundled together. But what you see is, you see her on her way to the bookshop, and she's remembering walking in on her boyfriend and catching him cheating on her. So you kind of get the 2 together. You get it bundled together. Her ordinary world, like where she started, what her status quo was. And then at the same time, the novel kicks off with the inciting incident, which is probably more than anything the inheritance of the bookshop. Because if it had just been losing her job, she would have just got a different job. If it had just been losing her boyfriend, she would have just got a different boyfriend, But so the fact that she's done like all of these things happening at the same time, losing her job, losing her boyfriend, which also includes losing where she lives because they live together. But really, more than anything, it's the bookshop. That's the thing that's really, really going to change her life more than any of these other things. Okay. All right. So continue to think about what your character's ordinary world is, but then also start to think about, what is that inciting incident? What is it that's really going to change their life and kick them out, just catapult them out of that ordinary world that they've been living in and send them on a journey? Let's pause the video so you can take some time to consider what happens in your character's inciting incident? What is their call to adventure? Okay, pause the video now and start writing.